Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'akol niyeh bidvaro. The Bible tells us that when the tabernacle, which was a portable temple, was built in the desert, it was inaugurated by the princes of the different tribes. They offered a sacrifice each day. And it also mentions that there is a menorah, which means a candelabra that was going to be lit in the tabernacle. So our rabbis say that when the princes started offering the sacrifices, the brother of Moses, of Moshe, his name was Aaron, he felt slighted because he was the Kohen Gadol, the great priest, and he was not participating in the sacrifices. So they say, God tells him, don't worry, Aaron. You have another job to do. You are going to light the menorah every day. That candelabra you will light every day. And you know, light means knowledge, it means freedom, it means all the good things in the world. Another interpreter of the Torah says the following. God tells Aaron, don't worry. Right now, the princes are offering the sacrifices, but hundreds of years later, 1,000 years later, when the Syrian that became Hellenized destroyed the temple really, and the Hashmonaim, your descendants, were able to evict them from there and re-inaugurate once again the Beit HaMikdash, they are going to light the menorah. So one of my favorite rabbis that I follow, his name is Kahana, he says the following. What kind of promise is that? God tells him, you know, right now the princes are doing something, but 1,000 years later, your descendants are going to do something. Imagine if you're hungry and somebody tells you, you know what, you're hungry now, but don't worry, next year I'll give you bread. What kind of promise is that? There's no answer to the anxiety of Aaron. But he says that may be true when you speak about material things. What is important is your immediate satisfaction. But when you speak about spiritual things, it is something altogether different. Because God is telling Aaron, don't worry. They are doing something right now, but what you are doing will last forever. 1,000 years later, your descendants will still be doing what you are doing right now. In other words, there will be continuity. When one thinks about the modern state of Israel, how did it come into being? It came into being because there is this promise, there was this continuity. The descendants of the people that lived in Israel never forgot about Israel. And after a couple of thousands of years, they came back once again. But we live in an era of immediate satisfaction. You know, you take a photograph here, and in a second, it's in China, all over the world. We have results that are immediate, really, to all our actions. Well, maybe that is so in technology, that is very important. But there are other things as well. I want to ask you something. Why do people write their autobiographies? In a certain sense, they want to live on for the future as well. Think to yourself, is Einstein really dead? Is Newton really dead? What they taught is still important to this very day. Their thinking is analyzed in every generation again. So on the one hand, maybe certain things you want immediate satisfaction, but there are other things that are really lasting for future generations as well. Okay, you don't know what is going to happen with you after you leave this world. But aren't you thinking a little bit, how would you like to be remembered by your sons, by your grandchildren, and if God gave you the good fortune by your great-grandchildren? What will your friends think about you? So it's not only immediate satisfaction right now. There's something in the future also. Even if you personally are not going to be witness to it, I think that we have that feeling that we want to live on through the actions of our descendants, to be remembered by our friends. Well, think to yourself, you're doing things for yourself right now, but are you doing something else for posterity as well? Because there is a now and there is a later. Now is very important, but don't minimize the importance of later.